What's going on? My name is Brian Bauer, and today I dug out one of my old pedals, which is a Boss DD-6 digital delay. I have never actually done a pedal review or just a pedal test on here, so yeah, it's gonna be a little bit janky. Sorry about the camera angle here. I'm not really set up for doing pedal reviews, but I figured I haven't used this thing in a long time, so I figured I would plug it in and give it a shot. So while the DD-6 is not the newest pedal out there in the world, I believe there's a whole lot more. I probably bought this thing around 2008 or something like that. At the time I thought I needed a bunch of pedals, and well, today I decided I'd plug it into the input of my Kemper and we'd give it a little quick test. I am no expert on this one by any stretch. This is just to have a little bit of fun. So I just try to find a setting of something that I like on this pedal. And for me, I really only use delays for leads and a lot of clean playing, but this pedal offers a fair amount of creativity, so we'll try to go through a couple presets. Also, I shaved the beard. Yeah, Corona season, springtime, it'll come back. I had to do something for the Q&A video. It's already out. I had the porn stash for a little bit. So anyway, here we go. So as you can see, I got my settings. I have my actual level of the delay really low. My feedback pretty well about, I'm gonna say about noon, 1 o'clock. I would say about my delay time about 2 o'clock. And I have the delay set to 800 milliseconds. When I bought this, I thought, well, I don't want a delay that has next to nothing for milliseconds, but the fact is I don't need something that goes always up. That sounds awesome, actually. So I bumped that way over here. Let's go. Like, I don't need anything that goes that long. Like, that's crazy. So, oops. This is gonna be a tough video. I told you, it's gonna be difficult. I liked it around the 800 millisecond mark instead of the 2600 milliseconds. I know the DD7 had probably some more delay and stuff, but I mean, we can crank that back a little bit and see. Let's see what it sounds like now in these settings. So it's a little bit quicker, and that is at, what is it, 300 milliseconds? Sweet. So anyway, let's just go through a few little settings here. So this will be kind of cool. I'll pump the feedback back, so. That's almost just doubling our tone. That's a really thick sound, honestly, right there. But I like to have my feedback up a little bit, so. For distortion, I don't think this sounds super great right there. I'll bump the delay time up since we are on that setting. Not what I would use, I could bump it back, but you know what? I think what we'll do is I'll bump it over to the clean channel. So one of the things I really like is a clean channel with some chorus and some delay. So I usually like my delay a little longer, but this might be kind of cool. So let's hear what it sounds like at these settings. I'm gonna bump the volume up a little bit though for this one. So we get a little bit of a slap back. Okay, let's just bump the delay back to 300 milliseconds. See how it sounds here. It's kind of almost just like a little bit of a reverb sound. It's not really doing much, even with the delay always up, so we'll turn the feedback up a little bit. Useless. I don't really like that a whole lot. So we'll bump it up to here again, this setting. I think that sounds pretty good for a little bit of clean though. It's cool. It gives a little bit of ambience, a little bit more depth to the tone than just say if we just flicked it off like this. That sounds cool, but in the sense of like something where we're recording things, be like that. I like a clean with a delay on it, but I'm gonna bump it back up to here, and I'm gonna see what we can get. So Let's just play some generic clean stuff that I usually do. That sounds awesome to me right there. And that's a tone right there that I would really like, so let's hear it. Hell yeah, that sounds really kick-ass, honestly. So what if I go back to, let's go back to the Engel Powerball. This is my performance patch that I use, and it should really update. So let's go back. I think we're kind of in a spot that I liked it before, so. But I like this turned down. If we turn it way up, like, if we turn it way up, you can hear it's. I thought that's just too much, so we'll just bump it down. But really, I'm more into this. Actually, roll that back a little bit. I think that's doable. Now, keep in mind that I'm running direct into the input, so the signal chain is not the same as it would be in the Kemper. So essentially, you might want to run something like this into your effects loop and not direct into the amp. This is what I've always done. So these days, I don't really use a lot of pedals. I use mostly what's in my Kemper, and when I'm doing recordings, I use a lot of plugins from Reaper, per se. But there are some other cool features on this. So there's actually 3 more. They're called Warp. I didn't quite get hold, and then there's reverse, and we'll show you. I think is it reverse the first one? No, reverse is the third one. One thing I do have to say that I do like about this pedal is that when there's the settings, you can feel the knob click into place, and I think that was actually a nice feature. And I'm sure the new Boss pedals are fairly similar. In fact, the look of a lot of the Boss pedals is about the same. And generally speaking, I've always liked Boss pedals. I've got a few here. I think one of them's busted. But anyway, let's just see. I'll go back to, let's see how it sounds. Aha, the first one is reverse. So let's hear it go. You can hear it's kind of neat. Turns into a legit mess really, really quick. So how much time we got here? Not a whole lot. So I'll go to a clean setting. Let's hear it sounds. Maybe here we'll get something neat. Flopped note. Okay, I'm going to just take this thing and flick it down to the floor for a moment. So this pedal actually happens to have 2 inputs and 2 outputs, so you can actually run this thing stereo, which is pretty sweet. So it has a hold function, and then there's the warp function. So I'll show you how the warp works. It's kind of cool. Let me get my volume back. It's just to do some wacky stuff. So I'm gonna go over to the clean state channel because I think that one might actually sound cooler with it. You have to hold your foot on the pedal to get this one to work. I think it's kind of neat. If you're pretty creative, you can do something kind of cool with it. Just try the whole function up, but I've turned the volume of the feedback way up, so I'll go. Overall, that's pretty cool. This is just a quick test of the pedal. These days though, I don't really use pedals a whole lot. So this for me is just about, you know, having a little bit of fun here and there and testing out my old stuff. Would I use this on a recording? Yes, if I was miking an amp, but generally speaking in post, I'm gonna use something in Reaper or whatever program like that is. I would say I really like the Kemper delays these days. But hey, if I wanted to run this all into an amp and play a show, I think this would actually be a really nice pedal, but I would run it into the effects loop of the amp and not run it straight to the input. So I would work on something a little bit different. Anyway, I don't know if this video is any good or even useful, but I would like it if you would all go up here and click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. What's that other YouTube stuff? Oh yeah, smash that mother effing like button, and I will see you guys all in the next video. See yous.